Well, first of all, I'll kick it off with this, Rob, actually. My first statement on this show. What I want to make clear is that you and I think right now, are making the most of the Get My Go rub. Yeah. The great people over there at Creative Control Network, Joe Feeney, Mike Durband, Adam Hughes. Durband and Hughezy in particular. Durband with putting the show together. He is one of the most amazing editors going around in this little podcast world we got going on. He puts the show together perfectly, and Hughezy has just gone to another level and has proven to me how funny he is, because he's been on fire throughout Get My Go, and Joe just that wise presence, with the humour thrown in.
Dang it, bro! Ben Hamin did Get My Go.
Oh, God. It hasn't aired yet. It's supposedly coming out soon, I guess.
This is from Nathaniel Vaughn. He's the one that always sends in all those clips to the Russo show. Have you ever heard that for the Castrating the Mark show, Chris?
Yes, he's one of the many Russo marks out there, which, yes, I'm guilty of claiming and stating that I am a former Russo mark. But God, I learned my lesson.
What lesson was learned? Didn't Russo do a painting that he sold where the money made went to back surgery? Didn't Vince Russo do a lot towards raising money for Christopher Martin?
Sure did.
So what lesson did he learn? You can only con someone once?
Thank you guys for listening to this episode. It really means a lot to me. Check out all of our shows on Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops. We are always bringing you new stuff daily. Not just wrestling, life stuff. We try to bring you guys as much as we can, and if we find something that we think will benefit the listeners, or even stuff we just need to work out on our own, we'll definitely bring it to you guys. We are real, we are transparent, and definitely give us some likes.
By the way, have you checked out Get My Go on YouTube? Feeney's wearing a Get My Go shirt.
That's a fact.
They have a drunken Irish guy, a jack dude wearing sunglasses inside, and probably the greatest podcast network operator alive today. I tell you, these guys really know how to rip the piss and play with the algorithms, and their Wanglish is superb. I tell you, hell hath no fury like a Wangland scorned. They're usually drugged out of their gore while recording, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them flogs the dolphin. It truly is monumental dickheadery.
We are real, we are transparent, and
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that, man, he gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
Previously on Get My Go.
This is going to be a very tough episode for us to get through. And I had to listen to the whole thing. Oh my God, man. It's fucking brutal. Joe, give us a little background, a short background on the Castrating the Bros episodes that they did. Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
I can't take it anymore.
All right, Dean Broso, here we are here. This is the most important.
Right. Oh, my God.
All right, so analysis so far.
I hit him.
Here's the analysis. John is dragging the entire thing down.
The scam, I'm telling you, the scam members, we have lots of great people out there that need because
what's that fucking noise?
Yeah.
It's awful. Oh my God.
Yeah, Mike, sorry, I couldn't hear the clip because fucking John Bonham was rehearsing in the background of this recording.
You want to enjoy some sex with some men.
You want to have sex with some men?
This tweet was sent to me by the one, the only, the original Jeff Miller, the real gem.
That's right. These last few seconds actually are the gayest he's ever sounded.
All right, guys, man, I'm getting so fucking exhausted by this shit. This is probably the worst episode we've ever done so far.
The 4 fucking biggest cunts ever.
Yeah, this is awful, man. It's time to make the hot tag. We got to get someone else to help us in here, man. We need a true professional. Man, it's time to bring in Ben Hamin from the Hamin Media Group.
Y'all, that's right. It's the Burial Ground sound done.
Ben Hamin putting infidels in the ground today. I don't care what you want to talk out there. You're lucky I even look down upon you little smart morons trying to get over on my shit. You can't even bite my rhymes correctly, moron, so why even try? Pathetic, you haven't put in the time. You don't have the Rip Rogers training. You don't have the Improv Olympics Second City training, so sit your ass down, buy a ticket, and close your stupid moron mouths and learn something for once, idiots. YOLO!
This is the part in the show where they go at Ben Hamin, Stevie Richards, and Master Shoot Theater.
What a terrible decision.
Yeah. Let's just clarify before we get to this. They're doing this because they think they're better. That's it was what they said publicly was a parody. Really, they're taking shots because they think they're better. That's why they're so endlessly punchable.
Before we even play it, how much did people pay for their version?
$0. $0.
And where does the other Master Shoot Theater take place?
Behind a paywall
on Patreon. So right away, you can go fuck yourself. Let's roll it.
Russo.com/TWC. You can hear the real professionals.
Wait. Isn't it patreon.com/RussoTWC?
That's it. That's right.
Patreon.com. Go ahead, Joe. You can
Flash Russo TWC Infidels, the home for Master Shoot Theater, the new disco timeout show where I shoot back on Braun, the big man himself. You want to hear the hot takes? There's only one place to go. It's Russo, a TWC on Patreon.com. Infidels. YOLO.
Because I lost my connection for a second. Did we cover with Ben like how much he knows of the story and stuff? Because
I just heard through the Stooge report. Is this one of the dudes who was an ex B-teamer from Russo who went to go cunt off, and he's half of a preacher too, but he's doing the me, my, I bit. So there's plenty of things in his Magic Harry Potter book that he's not following along with. So please tell me some more, because you're about to get Christopher Hitchens slapped on every level. $5 face slap via Ben Hamin, and exposed as the worthless marktard that you are, because not everybody should have a YouTube channel at the end of the day.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, here we go.
Bro, you know I'm a 58-year-old man, bro. Masturbate theater is hard for me, bro. So I'm going to have to call in a friend, bro.
How hard?
I'm gonna have to call in been, has been, or never was, bro.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my God.
What do you think were the alternative names?
Ben has been.
Ben ham sandwich.
Ben ham sandwich. You get Ben camel fucker. Been in your mom's ass once or twice. You know, whatever which way you want to go with it, man.
Ben's gonna join us on Castrating the Marks. Oh,
hello. I am a cheap heat gimmick. Hello.
YOLO.
Yalla.
Oh, Mr. Ben.
I am here, Yalla. Praise be to Yalla.
He's got it wired, man. He's down.
Did you catch the part where he said Allah?
Yeah, that's why I gave you two big ones at the top, because that's what my producer told me that they were going off on MSG was when you guys smartened them up. So that's why I come in hot. Yeah, dude, it's brilliant. I think everything they're doing is great.
This guy. I love this guy.
Has he ever wrestled in your favorite promotions before, Mr. Marky Mark over there?
Well, he doesn't wrestle in AEW, so we could thank him for that.
Wait a minute, who's Wanglin doing an impression of?
Wanglin is supposed to be Jeff Lane.
But he's doing that funny voice.
That's his normal feminine voice.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my Allah.
Very nice, bro. Very nice, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't work for AEW. Yalla, because I'm too big for AEW. Yalla.
Big as a foot long.
Shut up, Marky Mark.
Yalla. I'll get you in the Comey clutch. Yalla.
Well, we don't have Sleazy Sleaze here tonight, so I'm going to have to fill in as Johnny Lame here is going to have to fill in here for the normal part of it. So for this Master Shoot Theater tonight, I would like to see what Mr. Ben Hasbin thinks of Vince McMahon doing a show with Dean Russo.
Right, not that it matters, and not that he's the gayest sounding person ever.
You want to enjoy some sex with some men because it's none of their goddamn business.
His voice came out of Freddie Mercury's
like that.
arse.
I like the fact that no matter what impersonation he would do of somebody, they're instantly going to be effeminate and gay. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah, of course. Not that anybody here cares if he's actually
no.
gay,
That's just just take every character that you don't even apply that to. Now apply that to him over the top. It redoes it. These guys are really hitting on all cylinders.
His voice is so effeminate,
huge and monumental.
It's like he's doing Lyle, the effeminate heterosexual sketch.
Yes. I sent these guys that clip a few months ago. I was just about to ask if you remembered that from Saturday Night Live.
Come on, man. I studied comedy for 20 years before I got into wrestling, man.
Yeah, Ben, let's give us a little bit of your background. I know you studied in Chicago. So give us your pedigree.
My pedigree, man, is I started out doing as a song and dance man at age 12, even actually before that. But I've been on stage for 31 years nonstop. No years off. Every old school play you could think of, Shakespeare competitions, vocal major, play 3 instruments, sing in 5 languages. I got involved with improv with college after I got tired of all that. And I never looked back. And the people who I came up with are now Nice Peter from Epic Rap Battles of History, Broadway players. From there, I went to Chicago. I moved us all out there with a friend of mine, Marissa Panessa from Panessa Talent, who manages people on Saturday Night Live now, and she's a great performer as well. The list just goes on and on. I was there for 6 years at Improv Olympic in Second City and all the smaller theaters playing there as well. Studying with, you may under TJ Jagodowski or the guys in the Sonic commercial before they switched up to all the stupid Southern families now. Yeah. And, just a lot of like heavy hitters, everybody you see on, Silicon Valley and Veep. Those are all my mentors and people that I played with, man, coming up through. And I decided, fuck a life on HBO. Let me go to OVW and pursue wrestling to become the next Russo and apply this improv thing. So I've been doing this for a minute, man. They want to rib on the Yala shit and cheapy. That's every fucking Mark thing I've ever heard of. You want to be Muhammad Hassan. You want to be the Iron Sheik. You're right, because there's only one Arab guy in there. Well, you're a culture vulture. That's right, you want to talk about what I do, the conspiracy horseman-wise, we just had Richard Gage, architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, the founder on. Everything I do is based off of my art of that day when people died. You can go back and listen to Nice Peter, the President Bush song 1, 2, and 3 and all that. I had a hand in all that stuff, man. Like, we were fighting that fight right from the get-go. And if you think it's cheap heat versus commitment to a bit for 3,000 people that died, so I look for 9/11 Truth every day. People in this country are MK Ultra and they have a ton of PTSD. My gimmick when I go under means everything for them to let that out from the boogeyman that they didn't have, from seeing Al-Qaeda jump out of a foxhole and be on monkey bars and fucking Bin Laden with an AK, that same B-roll footage that's drummed into your head. Well, now you can see me lose live or do dastardly things live. And the next time you want to see me lose that much more. But, I know these dumb touch holes will never understand any of that because they've never sacrificed a day in their life to move 800 miles, live in a 1-bedroom apartment, then move again in 3 years, go from a nobody to being the writer of OVW and the head acting coach, only to take that out into the indies. And I get put on the top in the mid card and in the positions to be with Roddy Piper, to be with Sergeant Slaughter, to be with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Spirit Squad, to get to face Muhammad Hassan and pay off my heat. But because I'm not in your favorite indie that you stroke off, whatever it is, Limitless, AIW, whatever thing that you fucking think is over, and really you don't know shit about shit, because again, you've never paid a fucking dude to even have an ounce of credibility. So things like this are absolutely awesome and laughable because it's the lowest level of fan who's a diehard who's never going to get over. But I appreciate all their ProWrestlingTees.com/Bin Hamin sales, you stupid fuckers. So let's roll it, man. You guys are killing it right now, dude.
But that would be like, I will play the role of Dean Broso, and Ben Hasbin will play the role of Vince McMahon.
All right, what is the scene here, y'all? What are we talking about, y'all?
You have brought me back, and I said the only way that I'm going to come back to save the WWE, as Troy is back with some cheers here and about me coming back to write, because he still watches WWE, but he says he doesn't, and he's a lion's neck of shit. But it's okay. Vince McMahon wants to bring you back to write for him again to save.
You mean Vince McMahon?
Yes. Oh, no, Vince McMahon. Right, Vince McMahon. You're right. You're so damn good, Mr. Hasbin. You really are. Never was has been. So good. So Vince McMahon here is.
I just want to let you know, Durband, that you've completely ruined my day making me do this. Like someone's getting the ashtray later on. That's all I have to say.
Listen,
I do Vince. If he can do me, he should be able to do Vince, right?
Yeah. I had to sit through an hour and a half to clip all this stuff. So, I mean, you're only getting a small portion of it. I had to listen to the raw footage, and my God.
Oh. Well, what's unfortunate is they thought this first try was such a success that they did it twice. Yeah, there was actually a sequel to this,
and it was like a month later. They didn't even.
Do they do it? Do they even do a scene, or they just do an impersonation? They don't. Do they try and do a actual master shoot?
I don't understand. Like, I can't grasp what their idea was. Whatever it was, it didn't work out. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is where my Patreon's going to be getting up and running here, and we are going to have an improv section. So I think there's no. I mean, this is just misplaced creative energy. You know, like I play at a master's degree level, and these are the kindergartners, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Going to want to bring in the real cheese, Mr. Dean Broso, to come back and fix the ratings, to fix the WWE, and we're going to do a podcast together, because that's the only way I'm coming back. If you come on here and tell everybody why you wouldn't hire me for the last 18 years, why I can't come.
Is that the dude who's the preacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, total. Like, come on. We're gonna do shots fired in a passive aggressive way while we question somebody else's Christianity, and we have a complete layer of femininity on there. Is there a bigger screaming closet case with their hair on fire? Like, just case study psychologically alone. Don't need to see the video, picture, anything. You could write that down in a list.
Here's the picture behind me. Behind
you, bro. I mean, whatever, dude. Like, it's fine. I'm fine with that. But, dude, that is some Crisley level shit right there, bro. Jesus saved us all on Sundays, and I'm glad to have my family here with me today.
Last night, I was booing at my wife's vagina. I looked at it and went, made love to it. I do not watch wrestling for the bodies. I love the maneuvers and storytelling and the man's muscle moves. What about you guys? He sounds like fucking Cam from Modern Family.
That's fine, man. But I mean, the story is all here.
Yeah.
He's on my YouTube channel at 3 a.m. Watching Ryback versus let's see who else is on there. Anthony Bravado, and commenting under his troll account, these are two big muscle hunks. I love it at 2022 when he's got him in the bear hug. Like that, you are, homie. And that's fine. I need the views. Make sure you subscribe and check the bell. You know what I mean?
And that slimy red-faced worm, Bruce Pritchard, that backstabbing son of a bitch, is back. Why that con man Eric Bischoff is back, and then why Jeff Jarrett's back there. I mean, Jeff Jarrett is held him up for money.
This is a lot of plot for an improv scene. You gotta lay out the scene before you go into the scene, and then you're gonna say after that. We're almost to that point.
My
my day working hard on the go, cause the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow. I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
I like that one over there. Thank you very much for coming on. So you have to explain, Mr. Vince McMahon, to me, and I'm playing Mr. Broso here, why I was not invited back for the last 18 years and why all these other lying, backstabbing, con men scumbags have been brought back but me.
Yeah, pal. Well,
all right.
What voice is he trying to do there? What is that?
He's being Russo. It's the premise is, from what I gather, that Russo is now is going to have Vince McMahon on his podcast to answer why he hasn't been invited back. I think if I understand it, that's where they went. Brilliant. I mean, just a brilliant premise out of the gate. And this is the fantasy that he's trying to live back and forth. But what really kills me is they did Alone with My Baby Tonight better than it was done at the Hall of Fame when they botched it there. Yeah. And then they didn't even do a drop your pants joke, which is the whole opening segment of Master Shoot Theater, guys. I've been playing this game out. The song has to have something about taking your pants off in each one. And here's improv lesson 1. You find the game and you play the game out and you heighten it and explore the game and you use it as a callback later. There's your free improv lesson today. But you guys missed the first joke, so now we have nothing to call back to. Man.
Pal. Yeah, pal. It's great to have you back there. Yeah, pal.
Hey, bro.
Bro. We've been...
Bro McMahon.
What, pal?
Bro McMahon. You haven't brought me back for the last 18 years, Bro McMahon. YOLO, Brolo. You haven't brought me back here. Why haven't you brought me back to fix the WWE, bro?
I just want to point out that I didn't realize that Wangland had the observational powers of Jerry Seinfeld. Did you notice that Vince Russo says bro a lot?
Yeah, he's nailing that. He's instead of calling him, what does he call him? Instead of Russo, it's Broso. So, I mean, that probably took about, 2 or 3 hours to write down. You know what? I'll put bro in his name.
Genius.
Brosterscoffee.com right now and get official Vince Russo bro coffee if you want to. If this has really stirred up those bros inside you, there's no better way to keep them down and cancel your restraining orders and all that kind of shit. Then go to Vince Russo bro coffee at thebrosters.com.
Oh, I'm the only one that can fix it, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, I say bro more times than I can even think to say bro in this thing here. But bro, why have I not been invited back, bro? Please tell me, inform me. The scam members want to know why the best Vinny Brew over here isn't back.
The sheer irony in Wangland pointing out that somebody else repeats himself a lot. He's like fucking cunt. This is why the party's already dead.
The brand becomes the scam. They sound similar. So that again, some more improvisational genius.
Mm. Yeah, pal. Well, pal. Yeah, pal. Yeah, pal. It's the fact that, yeah, pal.
I just want to say to peel back the curtain a little bit. For the people that don't know, we switched recordings and we had about a 30-second brief respite there. And I got to tell you, it was like an oasis. Now we're back to the fuck. As soon as I hear these voices, I'm going back to the desert.
Now you know what Guantanamo Bay feels like. You'd think you're just going to get to sleep, and they come in there and they wake your ass up, and you're back to the waterboarding again.
And by the way, even though we're all on good terms, it's like Rad Rob and Dane, this is humiliating.
Yeah.
This is the sort of stuff where if they have mental health problems, they deserve it.
That's,
Oh my God, Ben, you are so great. You are so talented, man. I'm telling you, this is just some funny shit here, man. I'm telling you.
Pal. Yeah, pal.
Oh, yes. Master Shoot Theater. Everybody waits for Master Shoot Theater every week. I mean, I'm telling you over there, Marky Mark is flogging his dolphin in the corner, hearing Master Shoot.
Yep, he did say flogging your dolphin.
Use that again?
That's a callback. Yeah, we have an episode titled Flogging Your Dolphin. I think it's episode 4. That's the first time I've ever heard it used. Now it's the second time. So, have you ever heard that before? Flogging the dolphin?
Probably like when in 8th grade or some shit. But I'm telling you, next week it's going to be in Master Shoot Theater.
John's actually, whenever he references a man's penis, he uses the worst terms. Like he's used Russo's winky a bunch of times. He always says winky when he's talking about Vince Russo.
He also was questioning.
That doesn't that kind of go further to the, if you want to get real Freudian with it, the pseudosexual nature of why he can't even talk about penises or dicks or cocks or whatever. He has to use some cute little word because even then he feels like he'd be exposed as the latent closet homosexual that he very well may be.
Yeah, I heard he's going to start calling a penis a num-num next.
I think so.
A lolly.
Yeah, dinner.
I love you.
Oh, Marky Mark. Holy shit.
I put you in the Comey clutch and you will tap out because I am the shittiest gimmick in wrestling.
You're the greatest person in the world, YOLO. I learned from Rip Rogers, a glorified jobber who's never done a fucking thing in this business or made a dime. He was
Now they've crossed the fucking line. How dare they try to take a shot at the great Rip Rogers?
I'll tell you, Rip made a dime because I put about $6,000 in his fucking pocket, and I know a lot of other people who did too, man.
Yeah, I went to a seminar.
I mean, that shows you how little they know, right?
Marky Mark was at a great Master Shoot Theater.
So I that was it. He just said, was that a great Master Shoot Theater? That was the entire thing. I don't get what was accomplished out of it.
I think it was the most incredible thing is that Ben Hamin was in Master Shoot Theater. Did he get a job? Is Ben Hamin now working at WWE? I think that's something I'm excited to learn about. I can't wait to hear what next week's episode is, what they follow up with, because the content is gripping. I mean, the dialogue was Shakespearean. Really, the Bard has lowered the bar at this point based on these guys. These are the guys who are the first ones who are in line to get the $5 face slap. Allahu Akbar! And for him, it's like plenty of others, some pseudo-sexual erotic thing to be smacked around by a dominant alpha male to slap the shit out of them and to brush with Islamic culture or things they don't want to do that they're taboo because they're too pussy to do that. So that's why I walk the line and and push it, and then people can live through that fantasy whichever way they want to. Here, obviously, it's them as man children wanting to try and be something they never could because they don't have the ability, time, or lifestyle to sacrifice to become something great. So that's fine. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery at the end of the day, right? Like, if they want to go on and have fun doing that, and that's the level they want to be at, it's not like it's hurting my brand. It's pretty transparent of what level these guys play at, man. They're at T-ball level. I'm hitting home runs every week.
Yeah, their show is the comedy, but AIDS is the open wounds. Which is a bad thing, by the way. I'm anti-AIDS. I just want to officially say that I don't want AIDS, and I don't see the public crazing it. I don't know. I don't get TikTok, and I don't get AIDS.
I can't speak right now. I'm a little busy.
Yeah, pal. Yeah, pal.
I'm
just get a nanny there. Yeah, pal.
I'm touching myself a little bit.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
pal.
you got
dick over here. Yeah, pal.
Because up here at the Scam, if you pay enough money, we'll do anything. I'm like a circus freak juggling with my peenie over here. If you give
peenie
is
enough money, I'll find a way to make it done. I'm telling you. And Troy is going to give us our final cheer for the night. He is doing the biggest cheer ever. 100,000 cheers. Troy put his house up, and it is now mine.
Troy?
Thank you very much, Troy. My great-grandchildren now have a place to live because of Troy. Thank you very much. All right, folks. That wraps up. Cares who you are, and they never liked you in the first place. Leave.
Right. The thing that I don't get is why does he trash Troy for spending money on a show that Wangland spends money on? Like doesn't he's a part of the Russo
he must
brand
be
of
if he's
Patreon?
listening, right?
All right, so Ben, I just played you about 7 or 8 minutes of an hour and a half long disaster. Now they thought this went over so well, and they built it up like it was this huge thing, this big accomplishment that they did.
Mike, real quick. Remember, he on the one show he told Jeff Lane he had a big old receipt coming.
Yeah,
this was his receipt to Jeff Lane and the brand. Yeah,
yeah. So they did part 2 about a month, maybe 2 months later, and part 2 is even worse. Now, Ben, I'm sorry, I'm going to play you. It's about a 90-second clip from part 2.
All right, I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's just very short. So, in this one, they take a shot at a good friend of yours. This is from part 2.
Now, I'm telling you, this is what we give on Castrating the Bros to everybody. We give the stars, the money. I mean, we had the biggest stars on the brand. I mean, let's just name down the list of people that we have. We got Big Stevie Richards, Big Stevie Cool, man. He was out there and was a job boy at every federation that he was ever at. We got him. He's a big star.
I don't understand. First off, taking shots at Stevie ever. B, he's been employed in wrestling, or he was at ECW, WWE, WCW, TNA for 2 decades. And that's obviously the kind of thing that John dreams about doing, whether it would be in the ring or behind the scenes or whatever. He loves it so much, and he knows he'll never get into it. So he's now taking it out on others and guys like Stevie that have been around and employed for since the mid-90s.
We got him. He's a big star. We got Big Vito wearing a dress out there, telling everybody how tough he is every second. The Vito man, please don't kill me, Big Vito. I'm just saying this to be funny, and I really wouldn't fuck with you because I am legit afraid of what you could probably do to me. We also have, of course, Mr. Barroso's favorite guy. Who's your favorite guy that's on your shows with you, Mr. Barroso?
Bro. Ben Hamin, bro.
Wow. Look, we got Ben Hamin, and I'm telling you, this guy has been a big star in Ohio Valley Wrestling under Rip Rogers and in the New York wrestling scene at 2CW and Extreme Backyard Wrestling League. He was the world heavyweight champion. This guy is legit, isn't he, Mr. Broso?
What pops me is, he's going to get the backyard wrestling thing in. I've only worked one backyard show in my life. And, who else was on the card was Colt Cabana, Chris Masters, Jake the Snake Roberts. Who else? Canada's Fastest Man, the head announcer for the Toronto Raptors, and tickets for the backyard wrestling event started at $399 catered, and it was all Orthodox Jews the Megan brothers put on in Toronto. That's the only backyard show I've ever worked. And I worked Tomer Shalom. No, on that one, who's the guy up there that does like the Indiana Jones gimmick? He coaches at NXT now. You know what I'm talking about? He did a couple things on Impact too. He comes out, he's got like the Indiana Jones hat on. God damn it, I can't think of his name. But like, that always pops me because I was like, I'm never say I've ever worked a backyard show. And then here I am, $400 ticket, the most expensive show I've ever worked in front of a bunch of Orthodox Jews who've never watched wrestling in their life. So you can hit the Stone Cold Stunner as your finish. And that's the first time they've ever seen it. They don't know what the hell it is or if it's over or not. So, this guy, John, is the kind of person that, he thinks it's funny and he's going to try to rip on wrestlers and stuff here. But at the same time, he's done shows regaling his audience about the time he hung out with Marty Jannetty in an airport or about the time that JBL let him hold the title belt. So Hughezy said earlier, well, there's no jobbers. And some people say, oh, don't use the term marks or whatever. He really is like the deepest level of mark. And I think he's gone so deep that it turns into a hatred, and there's a lot of people out there like that now.
It's hatred. It's hatred and it's jealousy.
Envy.
I've been on a previous episode. Johnny Podcasting talked about how he was going to promote shows in upstate New York in November of last year.
And in November, we are looking to run our first and promote our first show, which I will be the promoter of the show with Mr. Severn.
Wow. You know what? Surprised it didn't happen. So
no. First of all, nobody runs in upstate New York without my permission. To be honest. Yes. That's the truth, because it's 2CW and Josh and Strangler Steve are always kicking back. We ran the whole state. After we went away, ESW out in Buffalo, we always had a good relationship with them because Pepper and Cherry are 2CW through and through, and a lot of our guys come from out there. They have really good shows at ESW. Excite is the aborted stepchild that should never be running, but because Johnny Moose was part of 2CW, Josh allows it and gives the guys in the armpit of New York State of Binghamton a place to work. Aside from that, Chris Envy and Mike King ran Syracuse and the surrounding areas. Guess who's the guy behind the book the whole time? Guess who is helping to get everything over based off of what we built the right way? Yeah. So anybody who wants to run, Primetime might run Albany, and I was booked on that before COVID too, to face Tony Atlas and the Patriots. So that would have been a high flying humdinger. But dude, anybody who says they're going to do anything is usually full of shit. I'm pretty well connected in almost every facet of this industry at this time, and still one of them under the radar, and sometimes that's a good place to operate. But for these guys, man, it's not for me to sell for these guys who don't matter at all. They're merch buyers, they're ticket buyers, and they're trying to create something. So I could say whatever they want to get, try and go in on Stevie and be like, how fucking dare you?
His name is Stevie Richards, and he has a conditioning and training program that's phenomenal.
And it's all bullshit. They've never fucking picked up a way. They've never changed somebody's life. They never inspired someone. They've never ran a business. Obviously, he's in another fake shakedown industry where he can be evangelical and try and fleece people for money through another work. If you're a wrestler, religion's a goddamn work. I keep trying to tell Stevie and GGP that fully. But this is all that little stuff on a small level. Now, that being said, they've got energy. They've got creativity. Can you pull your heads out of your asses and apply that to a positive way to do something along the lines where you're actually going to leave a little bit of a legacy? Or do you just want to play junior high lunchroom where you went and heard the Howard Stern show and you come back and echo the best of bits for your buddies and they think you're fucking over? Well, that's fine. You're only going to go as big as the lunchroom, man, until you actually pursue something. Otherwise, if that's where you want to be in this shit, fine. Chances are you'll be an assistant writer at WWE by next month.
Well, I think the Get My Go show has given John something of a legacy, but it's a legacy of shame. Yeah. Shame and embarrassment.
I mean, there is no such thing as bad press in wrestling. People say if they're not talking about you, that's the worst thing, dude. So, once you're kicked to the side, even if it's over some bullshit, you're forgotten about. So if you really want the true lesson, boys, it's about no selling. I get it. You want content and you want hot takes from me. But and this is for anybody in their life who's going to be triggered at the store, on Facebook, or any of that shit. The art of the no sell is everything. As soon as you respond, you give somebody power back over you. That's like Braun Strowman selling for a Hamin Media Group member and Russo brand member who tagged him based off of our Friday locker room, and he just can't. His phone has to get these hands, and he's got to fucking come in and try and cunt off. I didn't even have to sound the alarm, dude. Hamin Media Group and Russo brand members rolled over Braun Strowman. Yeah. And what he's responding to a promo I cut about them being superstars and not using social media properly. The irony and the poetic justice of it is just too much. And I'm not going to lower myself to like, you fucking dorks, like he did with us, to these guys, because they're not even on my radar. I'm doing it because you guys are great producers, from K100, from Russo brand, to doing your own thing where you're trying to grow your own property and you put the hours in the studio and you give guys a shine. It's that easy as shit. But that's because you guys are building your credibility, staying humbled, knowing that you're the kick around guys. MSG is on mine, but you're super producers and you have the notes ready and you're prepared and all that shit that the talent doesn't want to have to deal with. I know what goes into it because I run both sides of it, So don't lower yourself to sell for these guys because you're putting yourself on the same level with them when you guys are all doing 10 times more, and the audience knows it and appreciates it. I'm sure you get the letters and the messages, the content. You get me through my day, bro. I'm a truck driver. I'm a cop. I'm an Australian pedophile. Whatever it is, I'm fucking out here listening. You know, and that's more important in a time of division and constant triggering and news. People want escapism. So don't let these guys fucking harsh on anything or make you get lowered to their level when you're already doing work with guys that are raising your acumen.
Well, to explain real quick on that and clarify, the reason that we started doing this was this group of guys separated from my network of shows.
Yeah.
They wanted to run their own network, Reality Check, and this and that. And I was always predicting the kind of shit that was going to happen that did happen. These guys split off from them. They came back, started talking shit on them. And eventually he folded the network. So they're already dead. This was like, it started as like a celebration. Like,
are you shocked at that, Feeney?
No.
Like, who do they have on there with any credibility?
They had Dan Severn for 3 shows and Vampiro for 2 or 3.
Okay, so Dan Severn probably got duped, and Vampiro is a tragedy waiting to happen every time you work with him creatively, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does Conan and Disco expect from you?
They expect me to, produce the show, promote it, handle their Patreon, and schedule the guests, all that stuff.
And you do it without probably, maybe you got a little hiccup here and there, like any production schedule, any producer does, but you are the layout guy. These guys want to be the fucking top talent, like they've done something. That's the error in the equation. Now you're just fucking fakes you're never been. Like, you can call me a has been or never been because I wasn't on your TV show. You don't know that I fucking, was Impact Web guy, that I wear thousands of hats. I can do everything. I can do every job, whatever it is, and not be on camera ever. Which is really why I got into this biz. Me being a character and being on camera is all icing on the cake. I wasn't even fucking supposed to be in front of the camera. So, the fact that what you guys are doing and where, because I'll be honest with you here too, I'm not trying to be a dick to you guys, but have any 3 of you trained with anybody and like gone? I mean, you did the rip thing, but like, have you gone and like done that? Probably not a ton. You all have production backgrounds. So you're getting an opportunity to fucking stay small in the locker room with guys who are fucking made legends, right? Mm-hmm. If they can't see what that is and they want to try and go at Russo or at Stevie and do bad business for their own edification, that's completely myopic, short-sighted, and they'll never be any place, and they'll never learn anything because they can't humble themselves because it's about them. So kudos to all 3 of you guys for as much as you've made those guys brands and yourself as personalities as well. Those other fuck faces, they'll never get it, bro. They'll never get it.
That was the best analysis I've heard of the situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Overall, like, exactly. Everything they did was short-sighted. They burnt bridges here. They burnt bridges there. They offended this fan base. They offended that fan base until they had nothing left. Mm-hmm. They thought they were doing something smart,
Ben Hamin,
I'll put you in the Comey clutch, and you will tap out. Bro, you gotta love Ben, bro.
Oh, the master.
It's hilarious, bro.
Master shoot.
Yeah, all these marks are out there pumping a grumpy.
That's a good callback.
Wow, I'm telling you, I can't believe to be in the presence of these great stars.
All right, that's the end of part 2. I apologize to you, Ben. I apologize to Joe and Hughezy, and
I was just send the fucking
way. It's brutal, man. It's 3 hours of brutal shit that I had to listen to and clip. So, all right, Ben, we can't thank you enough for giving us your time and expert analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, rising tide raises all ships. You guys are doing the work, man. As producers, just like my own MSG, Matt Schaffer Gage, and all my producers out there who are doing Bello, Billy Ray Valentine, Colin Wysong. They're sitting under the learning tree, and you guys are separating yourself a little bit more out of the rest of the crop, and I think you know that. So don't sell for it if you have to do anything to go to battle with these guys. just let them eat themselves, man. It's pretty apparent the difference between what they do and what we do. But I appreciate everybody who is a Russo's brand subscriber for Raw and SmackDown review with me and Stevie, and obviously patreon.com/RussoTWC. You can go over to add Hacker Hamin on your iTunes or hackerhamin.podbean.com. And we also have Hamin Media Group now, a split-off channel for our affiliates. So we got a lot of cool different shows over there, from Star Wars, New Force Order, to the Suck My Balls South Park podcast. Look at Hughezy's eyes light up on that one. He got excited there, boy. And a lot of just great things going down as we keep expanding that. And my whole platform, I believe in free, independent media. It's paid for by sponsors like ZordosOliveOil.com, Dippin' Donuts, and the Broasters Coffee, where you can get the official Vince Russo Bro coffee. So when you're doing that, or going to ProWrestlingTees.com/BinHamin to get that tweet, apologize, dive, repeat shirt, that's the best thing you can do to keep my platform free, you guys. So 7 days a week podcast, from conspiracy to wrestling to movie reviews, all that kind of stuff we got going down. So you don't have to go to that mainstream media bullshit and be MK Ultra and be programmed. You know where it is. If you're already listening to this, you're a high level thinker.
You just mentioned your Pro Wrestling Tee store. I have bought a Bin Hamin t-shirt. There it is.
Look at that. It looks great on him too.
Yeah, right. And I'm standing next to the legendary Brian Alvarez in this
Yeah, man.
Someone chopped him up that night, huh?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you buying that shirt for sure. You definitely wear that to Thanksgiving dinner. Your family will appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Bin Hamin, you've said it all. Again, my apologies to you. All right, thank you, Bin Hamin. Guys, there's a couple more minutes left in this. We're going to try and plow through it, all right?
All right.
Everybody, you can find me over on John Lame Plays on Patreon. Only $1 a month, because that's all I'm worth. Like I say, $1 a month. You can watch me play such classics as Excite Bike. You can watch me play Top Gun. Okay, Top Gun. You can watch me play 1943. You can watch me
1943.
1943.
Can we've got to pause for a second, just explain to people. This is actually a chore to do this.
Yeah, dude.
like it's if the edited version is fun to watch,
yeah,
it's really not fun to record. Like he's not called the worst podcaster going because it's an insult. He actually is the worst, and listening to the worst podcast ever is tough.
I think it's a real shame that there was, and I've talked to Dean about this, and I think Dean realized what a fucking disaster this was, as they were recording, that there were some really, really untalented people on there with them. And, but other than Dean, I don't know that anybody realized it. And I'd like to think that if the three of us were attempting to do a project or a skit or whatever, and it sucked, one of us would go, Mike, that stinks, dude. Or Joe, that's fucking, don't do that voice, dude. It's fucking terrible. Whatever. And there's no one there I don't think, to tell them, to tell John, to tell whoever, hey, this is fucking terrible. It's not funny. It's brutal. It's exposing everyone for their lack of comedic ability, their lack of improvisational ability. And I think, like, to Mike's point about to Hughezy's point about how this is kind of a chore to listen to. Bin Hamin was on earlier talking about, paying dues and whatnot in wrestling. People do suffer for their art along the way, and I believe that we are suffering. We are suffering for our art here for the benefit of all our great listeners there, man.
Yeah, and at least one of the things about this show is that if just say an episode is an hour long, we probably recorded for an hour and 45 minutes, and Durband does this crazy thing where he edits stuff out. And I assume that this parody would be really funny if they'd have cut it down to like a minute or less. But having the guy say Allah again and again and again, it's fucking shit.
Yeah. This would have been a nice 15-minute segment if they edited it down, if they planned it out well in advance, and if they let Dean take 90% of it, because Dean was obviously the best character on there.
Yeah, he did everything. He did everything except for John doing John Lame.
Yeah.
And
Rad Rob doing Marky Mark. I don't even think I heard anyone else.
And John has never sounded gayer.
You want to enjoy some sex with some men.
Like,
yeah.
Like it's unbelievable. Like there's if he is gay, no one cares. But what we're saying is he doesn't sound like a manly man.
I just don't understand the voice that he's putting on. I don't understand what it's supposed to be. It just sounds stupid because you don't sound like Jeff or whoever you're impersonating. But you're obviously not really doing your own voice. You're adding something to it. What the fuck is it? Are you supposed? Is that like your broadcaster voice? I don't understand what's happening.
I think he's just making himself sound a lot more fabulous.
Let me tell you, we can. What is it?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Play next week the newest classic that I'm going to do, and it is going to be my favorite. We're bringing back some Contra over here. If I can beat the 19-minute mark on that game, I will get into the World Video Game Hall of Fame, and I will be able to up my Patreon ante to $2, folks. So come out and support the Contra game that I'm going to be doing. I will beat that time because.
All right, he's mocking that Jeff Lane's Patreon starts at $1. Jeff has a $1 tier and then a $4 tier. John, if you had a 25-cent tier, you'd get 0 people to join that. Jeff usually hovers around the 100 patron level. Like he's got 90 to 100 guys, at any time. John, you would dream about getting that. And
John would dream about having 90 or 100 guys at the same time.
I think that, see, this is meant to be a party, but to me it just comes across as unbelievable jealousy. He so badly wishes that he was Jeff Lynne.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, where's that fucking footage of the Vampiro thing?
Oh, what are we gonna do with that? Yeah.
Cut off there for a second. Hold on, buddy.
Another thing is that Jeff Lane operates a very successful Twitch channel. I watched him the other night. He was playing some Mario games and some Sonic games, and he had like between 40 and 50 viewers during the time that I was watching. It reminded me of the times that I used to go back and see that John was doing live Twitch streams when they were recording.
All right, I'm going to start this show. So anybody wants to jump on in anytime who comes into the stream once again, ask a question, talk on it, whatever, just let me know. You pop right in and I'll do it for the show. All right, we're going to start the show. I'm going to do the intro. I'm going to do everything right now in just 1 second.
And shockingly, I was the only person in the room. There might have been one other person. I think maybe Bang Biscuit might have popped in.
They're not doing a good job on their women's division, but then again, neither is WWE.
But John would answer quote unquote questions from the viewers. And I'm like, that's funny. I'm not asking any questions and there's nobody else here. Where are these questions coming from?
And what types of questions would they ask?
Very generic, basic questions,
Where can we find your podcast? Well, that's a great question there, man. You can find it at all good podcast services.
I think anyone that would realize that they could just talk for a living and maybe play and get paid to play video games would probably do it. So there's criticisms about Jeff are silly because Jeff is, like Hughezy said, doing what he wishes he could do, get paid to just talk, produce shows for Vince, play video games, whatever it is. And I would also put this out there. I'll put Jeff over there, man, that if you're a brand member, you should get off your wallet and give Jeff your $1. You know what I mean? I know you're already paying for the brand Patreon and all that and Realm or whatever the fuck. But Jeff does that's his life doing all those shows, and I know because it's happened to me too. Yeah. Throw him the $1 for his Patreon, even if you never use it. It's $12 a year, dude.
Yeah. But
support the guy because he does work his ass off to, like Ben said earlier, get you through your day, fucking driving your truck or delivering mail or whatever the fuck, flipping some burgers there, man. Whatever you do. Not that all brand members are burger flippers, but throw Jeff your support because he deserves it.
All right, let's finish this here.
That is the highlight of my life. And also, you can check out the great series we have. My stupid Raw and SmackDown review from somebody that's never been in the business that doesn't know a fucking thing about it. And you can also...
Right, that one, I need you to clip that quote.
My stupid Raw and SmackDown review from somebody that's never been in the business that doesn't know a fucking thing about it.
And we have to use that way more often. The stupid Raw and SmackDown review by someone who's never been in the business, yet he has a whole fucking network of wrestling shows from people who've never been in the business. This is the complete delusion of this fucking totally straight guy to find. Like, he's making fun of someone for doing what he does.
Yeah. Couldn't even say it any better. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And you know what? Rob showed us a DM from John that he had, that John was giving him advice that people don't like review shows there, man. But yet, if you look at his entire lineup now, you got Sunny Salem doing an Impact review. She's going to be doing an AEW Dark and a Behind the Elite, whatever show.
Being the
review.
Elite. Come on.
John and Brother Martin are doing random review shows of wrestling, wrestling stuff. No, they're not on any type of schedule. It's just
Also, noted football expert John Wangland is now doing some football. I'm sure that he's very knowledgeable. If you want to make some money, listen to him. Listen to his knowledge. Make your gambling picks based off John Wangland's Rough and Tough Radio, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, his football review show is as good as fucking Charlie Brown's field goal attempts. That's how young and topical I am with my references.
Yeah.
All right, folks, check out us here on the brand. Just remember, it's less than $1 a week here for all you great people. We give you content. We got such legends as Ben has been, Sleazy Sleaze. You can check out the wonderful Goldilocks. Nobody knows who the fuck she is, but Goldilocks is on there. I don't know what part of the business she was in TNA, but you can check her out on Goldie's Living Room. And, of course, you can check out the most famous show of the week. You can check out my show with that Dean's show, and I'm joining it too. It's my show too. I keep them in line here with that louse, that heathen, that scumbag, that...
Hang on, John.
Oh, Jesus, here. Go away.
John.
Can you imagine if you started a new job and you go to your desk, which is like in a shared space, and he's the guy sitting near you? Like, that's the sort of person that would make you fucking kill yourself.
I'd quit or I'd find a way to get him fired.
Yeah, like, he's so unfunny that I think I'm going to cry. Like, it's scary. How do you be that unfunny?
It's like and Hughezy before talked about how it's a chore, and I made some other references to it, but now I realize from looking at everyone's face on here when we record, like what do they call it when a soldier comes back, like the 1,000-yard stare or whatever? Like, we're all just sitting here like this.
Yeah, play the platoon music underneath it. But no, seriously, I'm taking another break from doing these. I hate them.
We're definitely taking a break.
That's why since we got you on today, we're gonna get it all in the can there, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't say in the can when fucking Wangland's but
people, we love you. We thank you for watching. We love your comments and everything, but these are not easy to do, man. This is an actual job. Like, this is harder for me to do than my actual normal job.
Yeah, I put over Jeff earlier in his $1 Patreon, but I would also say ProWrestlingTees.com/CC with Joe Feeney. Conan's Patreon. Support Mike, go to BlueChew.com and use the code Durband. Support Hughes, go to Manscaped.com and use the code HELLO. Keep those guys paid by their sponsors. And Mike has T-shirts, ProWrestlingTees.com/Mike Durband. Hughesy's got an Amazon wish list. Just ask him, you know what I mean? So if you want to show your appreciation to anybody on here, we don't turn away gifts, donations, money, kiss on the cheek. No, well, whatever.
We'll be back with you next week for the regularly scheduled program, and we will not be talking about the scam ever again on this show with this stuff because they're not worth our time. And we like to give a disclaimer that this was all in good fun. And you know what? We castrated some bros tonight. So it was a good time tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with you next week.
Who was it all in good fun for?
I want to fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
Fucking
rough, man. Oh.
Right. Well, that clip, that's another clip you've got to make is a quote from him saying, "It was all in good fun there, man." Then he has to remember that for this. That if he wants to do his public, they're saying nasty, mean comments about me and pointing out that I have the most effeminate, stupid fucking voice in history of time. It's like, it's all in good fun. You fat cunt. Oh, but I thought of a very insulting comment from watching the last episode when somebody spoke about what's Wengerling's wife going to be like when she sees all the bills going to India.
Yeah.
She'd be like, are you fucking trying to buy another wife? See, it's all in good fun, though. It's all in good fun.
All in good fun.
So if people are stupid to get in, look at his fucking face. Look at that. Can you imagine waking up in the morning, you have a dream, you're like, oh, I'm on my private jet and I'm hanging out with Bruce Springsteen and I'm doing coke with AC/DC, and Jenna Jameson's on the floor, is holding her arse open, and then he wakes up, and that's what he sees in the mirror.
It's not what he sees, though. He sees super soldier, ass kicker, comedic genius, podcast mogul. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like his show title. I once thought was a great title. I was like, man, I wish I would have had that. I thought Wrestling with Reality was a great title. Little did I know that is what he grapples with on a daily basis, reality. And by the way, reality is not winning.
But no, Wrestling with Reality is a great title. That's why he copied it from the podcast that was already existing. And I'm changing this background. I can't look at his face.
Yeah, from the podcast that already existed that he then left a bad review.
All right, everyone. We're sorry. Maybe we're not sorry to you because you probably enjoyed the edited version of this, the condensed version. But I apologize to the two of you and to Mr. Ben Hamin. Thank you, Ben, for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel by now, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
We got, there's hundreds of views on every video that we have, sometimes 500, 700, 900 now, the Jeff Lane one. We have 130 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button, comment, put your favorite quotes in the comments. We love seeing these quotes, man. Every show has at least 10 or 15 quotes from this guy, so let's hear your favorites.
My stupid Raw and SmackDown review from somebody that's never been in the business that doesn't know a fucking thing about it.